First off, a huge thank you to all of my Patreon members. You can join us over at patreon.com/thediamondstitcher or click the link in the video description down below. See you there. Hi guys, it is Elisa here, or the Diamond Stitcher as I go by on YouTube and Instagram. Hello, good morning or good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you're having a wonderful one. If you're new to my channel, first off, welcome. I'm happy you found me, and I hope you would consider subscribing and stick around for all things diamond painting. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your continued support. It has been a while, you guys. I do not know when the last time I filmed a Wip and Chat was. I forgot to look. Wip stands for work in progress and refers to the diamond painting you are working on, and Chat stands for chat. I used to do these every week. I used to post them every Monday, and life got in the way. I got sick. I deal, if you've been around for a while, know that I deal with a lot of health problems. And end of last year, I was just really sick. And the Wip and Chats got away from me. I started doing vlogs where I would film like five minute max clips a day and then string them together in kind of like a Wip and Chat style. I am still doing those, however, I've moved those over to Patreon. So I do have a Patreon. I'll talk about that first. If you are interested, it's just a platform where creators can have a smaller community and get to know their members a little bit better. I set the Patreon cost quite low. I don't make any money off of it. Any of the Patreon membership fees go directly into giveaways at the end of every month for members who are part of it. Right now it's set at $3 American, which translates to $5 Canadian. And yeah, that's where I do a lot of updates now. So it is a lot easier for me to make little posts than it is to film video clips or do Wip and Chats. So on Patreon, I try and do daily updates, daily posts, whatever I'm doing for the day, or you know, any wisdom I have to share, or whatever have you. I try and do a post every single day. So if that is something you miss my Wip and Chats, you miss me talking, getting to know me, learning a little bit about my life and what I do every day, and you miss that and you want that, come over to Patreon, patreon.com/thediamondstitcher. There's a link for it down below as well. Check that out if you are interested. But today I wanted to do a Wip and Chat. I wanted to update general channel members on kind of what's been going on, because I've been getting some messages from people asking if I'm okay, because they've noticed my content is different these days. Like I used to post, let me just get started here. I used to post up to 5 videos a week. A lot of them were more interactive videos like Wip and Chats, post reviews, small shop hauls, things like that. But yeah, probably since the fall of last year, I started slowing down in the videos that I was doing because I was sick. So I deal with a lot of things. I deal with injuries that have led to 9 different surgeries. And honestly, I still don't think I'm fully recovered from my last surgery that I had in September. Surgeries take a lot out of me, and it can take quite a while for my body to just get back to normal. 6 months sometimes. So when was that? September, so October, November, December, January, February, March. So March, it's March now. So this should be the time when I get my energy back, if I am going to get it back. Yeah, usually after surgery, it takes about 6 months for me to kind of feel like myself again. And that's been the problem. I just do not feel like myself. I have this most crippling fatigue. I don't even know how to describe the severity of it. It's the kind of fatigue where even brushing your teeth some days is too much. Like the thought of it is you can't do it. It's overwhelming. Or even brushing your hair, you'd rather just put it up in a bun, which I can't do anymore because I was dumb and I went and cut my hair off, forgetting how much work short hair is. And when you don't have the full use of your arms, you can't really do your hair every day. So now I'm stuck with this short haircut that I can't put up, that is driving me absolutely insane. And I'm praying, you know, a couple more weeks and hopefully my hair will be long enough that I can put it in a tiny little ponytail. But yeah, I've been dealing with this crippling fatigue. I got sick sometime end of November, I think it was, maybe early December. Not sure if it was, you know, the big C or what, but I did get quite sick for a couple of weeks there. And I was like on the couch for a solid week. That's how sick I was. And I just don't feel like I've ever bounced back from that. I used to, you know, I used to have, I'm not going to say a lot of energy, but enough energy that I could stay awake from morning to night. Since December, early December, every single afternoon, maybe minus, let's say, 5 days. So 5 days in 3 months, we'll say every single afternoon I fall asleep. I nap from usually 2 to 5 hours is the most. And then I go ahead and I have a sleep for like 7 to 10 hours, depending on the night. So it's not like I'm sleeping in the day and messing up my sleep at night. It's I'm sleeping in the day and at night. So obviously my body needs the rest. Part of it probably recovering from whatever illness I had. Part of it dealing with the healing from the chronic illnesses that I deal with on a daily basis. And then, you know, my injury and pain on top of that. Everything affects your fatigue and energy levels. And I have so many conditions wrong with me that affect energy levels that it's just, I just do not have energy anymore. And there are some days where it's just a total write-off, where I almost can't even walk the dog. Sometimes I need to call the dog walker to walk her because I just can't even fathom walking around the block. Like I feel like my body is going to collapse on me. And some days it actually does collapse on me, to be honest. Just looking for my next color here. So yeah, I still deal with crippling pain. I don't think I'm ever not going to have pain like I have it. It can be so bad it's 10 out of 10. It can be so good that it's 1 out of 10. It just really depends. Of course, if it's 1 out of 10, that usually means I'm not moving and I'm barely breathing. But I do have some treatments that I've been undergoing consistently since last year. I go every 4 weeks for something called a pain infusion. And they infuse some kind of anesthetic that works for chronic nerve pain and nerve damage. And it infuses over a couple of days, and then it gives me about 3 solid weeks of pain relief. Now, it's not 100% relief, but it's enough that like I can function a little bit better and I'm not crippled and disabled by the pain. So I've been getting that consistently every 4 weeks. I have to drive into the big city, or my husband has to drive me into the big city to get that. So that's something that I continue to do. I continue to get injections also in the muscles for the pain, and I get those every 6 weeks. So I have to drive to another city for those. Those two things usually, lately, they've been keeping me kind of level. Let's say level in terms of pain. I don't have lots of spikes of severe pain unless I've overdone it, which I do tend to do. Like this morning, I was just doing something trivial and I've pulled something in my kind of back shoulder area. Feels like I've ripped nerves apart, or maybe it was scar tissue. It was an awful tearing sound, and I've just been in severe pain since. So, you know, it's very easy for me to get into severe pain, but as long as I try and I be careful with those pain treatments that I'm getting, they actually do work. They do provide somewhat of a quality of life for me. So that's kind of been keeping me somewhat stable. I mean, there's always a week before the pain infusions that I'm in a pain crisis. I can't do anything. I'm basically flat on my back for 7 days while I wait for the next pain infusion to go through. So because of that, they want to trial something in me called a spinal cord stimulator. I know I've talked about this before. A spinal cord stimulator hopefully would provide more consistent pain relief. And we are going to go through with trying it. They think probably it won't happen till the summer sometime. So I've got a couple of months to wait. It's just because of scheduling in Canada, everything always takes a long time. So I am kind of on their board to get looked at for that. And it is just a trial, which means we're going to try it, see if it works. If it works, then they're going to implant it permanently. If it doesn't work, then we're just going to forget about it. And then the only options are to continue these lidocaine infusions. If the lidocaine infusions ever stop working, we can try something called ketamine infusions, which is probably more widely understood, used for chronic pain and mental health, depression, and things like that as well. I would be using it, of course, for chronic pain, but if it has a benefit to help depression, then that would be helpful for me too, because I definitely do suffer from clinical depression diagnosed by a healthcare professional. And that's the other thing that's been weighing me down since last year is the winter months do affect a lot of people, and they do affect me. Yeah, I've definitely been in somewhat of a depression since then. It's kind of lifted the last month or so, but I can't say it's gone. I mean, it's always there. I I very rarely have periods where I don't feel it at all. I might have days where I feel better, but it's always just hanging in the background, kind of waiting to pounce, you know, a weak moment where maybe my mental health isn't the best and it just pounces and completely takes over my mind. But yeah. Um, so I've also been dealing with that, and depression in itself can cause all sorts of fatigue and energy issues as well, lack of motivation, which I've definitely been having as well. Really, for me, when I film, I have to pull out a tripod, you know, set that up, set up some lights, got to pull out another table because I don't have a dedicated diamond painting space anymore, or a dedicated craft room where I can just leave up my filming stuff or my diamond painting stuff. I even have to put all of this diamond painting stuff away. Yeah, just the process of dragging everything out often, I have to take a break because just setting it all up, it flares up my arms. So my arms are still disabled. So right now, diamond painting, my arms are 100% resting on this coffee table, and I'm just really moving my wrist. So I used to be able to diamond paint for like hours a day. I mean, back in the beginning, it was like 6 hours a day I would be diamond painting, you know, a couple hours in the morning, mostly in the afternoon. And, you know, it would distract me from my pain and my kind of situation. And I was really, really happy and very active in the community and such. And nowadays, I'm lucky if I can even diamond paint for an hour. My arms are just, because of the nerve damage, they're just weak. I can't use them for very long. Now, I told you I cut my hair short. I'm having trouble doing it because I can't hold a blow dryer for more than 10 seconds. So I can't dry my hair, can't style it. Very bad decision to cut your hair short if you don't have full use of your arms. But I mean, even brushing my teeth, my arm will fatigue. I got to switch back and forth. I really need to get an electric toothbrush again. Yeah, so I don't have full use of my arms, and just setting up all of this filming equipment drains my arms so much that I need to have a break. And then often I'm too sore to even feel like diamond painting after that. So that's been a barrier. I also have a partially paralyzed diaphragm still, and carrying all this stuff and setting it up causes increased work of breathing, makes me feel very short of breath, and then by the time I sit down to film, I'm just so winded that I just can't talk. Even just talking here today, like I do feel winded, and I keep taking big gasps of air because I just don't feel like I get enough air in my lungs. So that's been another barrier. When you just don't feel good, you just don't want to film. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way, but when you just feel like crap all of the time, you want to avoid doing things that make you feel worse. And it's been since last year, you know, unfortunately, the process of having to set up to make videos was making me feel worse, and it was making me dread doing it and kind of like feeling super anxious every time I thought I had to film a video or I needed more content. I would just have like all of this anxiety because I know I was going to be in a pain crisis after, and I wouldn't be able to breathe, and the rest of the day I would be lying flat on my back because I was in so much pain and discomfort, and I wouldn't be able to actually enjoy the diamond painting. So that's why you've seen less videos since the fall from me. I've started to do a lot of those roundup videos for the different small shops because those are a lot easier for me to film because I just film on my laptop, I screen record and talk away. So I don't have to set anything up. I have my arms propped up on pillows, my laptop in my lap, and I just talk about what is on the screen. So those roundup videos have been a lot easier for me to post. I feel like I'm still able to talk to you guys, and I really enjoy doing them as well. So that's why the majority of the videos you've been seeing probably for the last couple of months seem to be those roundup videos, because that is the easiest video for me to film, and I have to do what's easiest for me because if I don't, then yeah, I'm in a crisis the rest of the day. You know, a lot of the time people don't see the behind the scenes. You know, a simple 20-minute unboxing video left me lying flat on my back, sometimes in tears, in so much pain and discomfort, and I wouldn't be able to do anything the rest of the day. I always do my filming early in the morning. Like right now it's 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I always do my filming, my roundups. I usually film between 5 and 6 a.m. And then all of the other kind of videos, like if I would do a whip and chat, usually it was early afternoon, or if I did an unboxing early afternoon, because that's when the light is the best in my apartment. And then my husband also is back to work because he comes home for lunches, so it's hard to film around this time because I never know when he's going to walk in the door. And our diamond table, our dining table is the coffee table. So he needs the coffee table, which I'm diamond painting on for his lunch. So yeah, when I would have to film in the early afternoons, it would leave the rest of the afternoon. I was just flat on my back and couldn't do anything. And it became very depressing for me. I began to start, hating is not the right word, but not looking forward to filming. I would get, like I said, a lot of anxiety around it because I knew it would make me feel sick after. And I just started dreading it. And then when I did get sick in early December and in November, I was flat on my back for a week and a half. It was almost, I think, 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. I was just very, very sick, almost like the flu. I think it was the big C, to be honest. And after that, I just did not get my mojo back. I have been diamond painting off and on. You'll notice that I don't have a lot of finishes these days like I used to do, finishes every couple of weeks. I'm lucky if I get a diamond painting done in a month these days, because I might go like 5 to 7 days without diamond painting at all. Then I diamond paint for a day or two, then I'm back to taking a break for a week because my arms. It is really hard when you have limited use of your arms. My whole job every single day is to prevent flare-ups, prevent worsening of my pain. And unfortunately, crafting hasn't been that good to me as far as my pain goes and my arm condition. I'm just looking for my next color here. I started crocheting too. I wanted to teach myself to crochet, so I started with those little amigurumi animals. And I got a few of them done, but I've also learned that crocheting is definitely not good for my arm conditions. I have two bad arms, so I used to have one good arm, but now they're both bad. My left is worse than the right, but yeah, crocheting really aggravates it. So I may be able to do maybe 10 stitches in a day, and that's all I can do. So it's really depressing when you have an activity you really like diamond painting, crocheting, for example, and cross stitch. I used to do cross stitching a lot. I used to alternate the crafts, all three of the crafts. And, but it's really hard when you can only sit there. Like I've been talking for 18 minutes and my arms are already starting to really fatigue. So if I wasn't filming this video, I would probably stop diamond painting right now, because I know if I continue on much longer, I'm going to be in a pain crisis. So when you have a craft that usually brings you joy and then it stops bringing you joy, it's just really hard to do it. It's hard for me to sit there and do 10 crochet stitches and be happy with myself. Instead, I'm feeling very frustrated and angry that I can only do 10 stitches, and it makes me not want to pick it up again because I don't want to be reminded of what I can and cannot do, or I should say what I can't do. And same thing for diamond painting. I mean, I used to sit here and diamond paint a couple hours in the afternoon. It used to make my afternoons go by really, really fast. And now I'm lucky if I get half an hour in, and it's just a reminder again of what I can't do and what my disability has taken from me, what my injuries have taken from me. And to avoid that kind of distraught feeling I get when those realizations kind of come in, I just don't do it. I avoid it, because if I avoid the craft, then I'm not going to feel sad that I can't do it anymore. So that's another thing that's kind of been happening, is I've been avoiding the things that bring me joy. And because of the depression, the things that bring me joy also haven't been bringing me joy. So when you have something that you used to like to do a lot, like diamond painting, and it just doesn't bring you that same kind of joy, you don't really have the motivation to do it anymore, right? I mean, what I've spent a lot of the time doing since last fall is just honestly lounging on the couch, watching TV series on Netflix. And, that's what's brought me joy, because I can rest, I can fall asleep if I'm really tired, or I can just rest my body. Lying down has been really good for me. I have something called automatic dysfunction, where the automatic processes in my body don't work. So things like blood pressure, heart rate, breathing, digestion, everything automatic on any given day doesn't work properly. So my body is constantly fighting itself against gravity. And it also makes me really, really sick. Some days I have to lie flat on my back, and I can't even sit up at 90 degrees because I just get so dizzy, so nauseous, cold sweats, very sick. As soon as I lie down, those symptoms go away. So since the fall, they've all been really bad. So I've spent a lot of my time lying down, binging series that I've already seen on TV. The one that I finished binging lately was Dexter. I watched all of the season, the main, and then the 2 spin-offs that they've had on, what is it, Paramount, I think? And that took a couple of weeks, and that did bring me joy because I was following the story, and I never actually, I think, really paid attention to watching it when I watched it in the past. So it was like I was watching a new series, and I really got into it. So yeah, my life since the fall, so for the last 3 months, hasn't been that great, you guys. I've been struggling silently. Those on Patreon know that I've been struggling a little more vocally about it. But yeah, my health hasn't been well, and I haven't been doing good. And when I don't feel good, I don't feel like filming, and I haven't been filming. I haven't even been crafting, so I haven't even been diamond painting in my spare time very often. In the last 2 months, this might be the 3rd or 4th time that I've sat down and diamond painted, if that gives you any idea of how I've been feeling. What I have been doing lately in the past month are those pixel kits. So pixels are a diamond painting adjacent craft where instead of little diamonds, you put down little stickers on a smaller canvas, and I'm able to do those lying down. So if I have to spend a day on my back, I can do those pixels. I always have the TV on in the background, and my day goes pretty quickly. There is something good that has come into my life, actually last fall as well. I started volunteering at a local farm sanctuary. So it's a place for abused, abandoned, neglected farm animals. So they have 20-something goats and sheep. They've got 3 big dairy cows. They've got 12 to 14 pigs, 3 turkeys, probably over 20 chickens. They've got a bunny and 2 guinea pigs, 2 more disabled chickens that live with them. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I think that's it for right now. They used to have a donkey, but she passed away. They used to have a horse as well, but he had since passed away. And I reached out to them in October of last year because I had had my surgery and I wanted something where I could help myself get stronger, because at that time I was still using a walker and a wheelchair to navigate my environment, and I could barely walk around the block. I get bored at the gym. I don't really enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff I can't do at the gym. I prefer walking. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to get out in fresh air, enjoy animals' company, and do what I could. I am very, very lucky that the owners know all about my story and my struggles, and they work with me. So I'm not treated like a normal volunteer. I'm allowed to come whatever day that I feel good. So I try to go at least twice a week. I try 3 times a week if I'm feeling good. Let me just find my next color. I would love to go 7 days a week, honestly. I love it there. It's so therapeutic to be around the animals. I've started forming bonds with all the different animals. They can recognize me when I'm coming, and they recognize my voice. And it has been, amongst all of the struggle that I've just talked about, the farm has been the one thing that brings me joy in my day. And, sometimes I can only last half an hour there. Sometimes I can last 2 hours. I usually can't last more than that. And that, of course, is with a lot of breaks. Like I spend a lot of time sitting and taking a break inside the house with the cats and the dog. Oh, that's right. They also have 4 cats and a dog. And I spend a lot of time just resting and just being with the animals, talking to them, sitting with them, sit on the ground a lot, and give treats and things like that, brushes and pets and things like that. So I don't actually do a lot of the farm work. There are 4 chickens that have their own little enclosed area. 3 of them are Cornish hens, they're called. They were rescued off a slaughter truck. They actually fell off the back of a truck taking them to slaughter for meat, the meat industry. And somebody rescued them and brought them to the sanctuary many, many years ago. And then there's a little pretty brown chicken that has nested with them, I guess. So they live together. I take care of those guys. I make sure their little house is clean. Their garden area is nice. And they, have water, and They get fed twice a day because they are on a diet. So if I am there early enough in the morning, I will help feed the animals as well. I really enjoy doing that because, again, it's one of the very few things I can actually do on the farm. And some days I can't feed. I just can't do it. So the days that I'm able to, I like to help them out with that. And yeah, I feed the chickens, and they get salads too, along with some like low fat, I guess pellet type food. And then there's the bunny and the 2 guinea pigs. They have their own little room where there's also 2 disabled chickens that live there. So I take care of that little room too. Again, making sure they're nice and tidy. They got water and food, and their vegetables are available, and that. So that's what I usually take care of. I used to help with the mini goats. They have a bunch of little mini dwarf goats. Yeah, I used to help with them, but that's become harder for me these days. So I usually just visit with them while other people take care of them. It's a blessing, but it's also like not a curse. A curse isn't the right word. It's a blessing, but it's also really hard because I'm constantly reminded of what I can't do at the farm. You know, I'll watch all of the other volunteers, you know, taking care of the goats, sweeping up their poop, you know, cleaning out their bedding, putting new bedding down, giving them hay, all of that stuff I just can't do because I don't have full use of my arms, and it's just too hard. If I do it, I'll end up in a pain crisis. So there's a lot of stuff I just watch the other volunteers do, and it does bring me down. There are some days it makes me really sad. Some days I don't go because I'm just too sad, and it's just a hard day, and I spend my day resting at home. But then there are the good days where I know going there is just going to improve my mental health, like just doing a walk around and saying hi to all of the animals and checking in and making sure they're all okay and nobody has an injury or anything like that, you know, is so therapeutic that some days that's all I do. I run a lot of errands with the owner too. She does the driving, of course. I'm just a passenger, but she'll take me to get the grocery donations from grocery stores, or if she has to take a trip to the States, I'll go with her for that, just for the car ride, and grab some lunch. She really helps me be involved in kind of the running of the sanctuary, and that really makes me happy as well. I'm disabled and I can't work, and it's really hard to find things to do when your arms don't work in a day. And because I wake up so darn early, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, my days are really long. It would be different if I could sleep in, but I can't. So yeah, the farm has been a blessing. I call it the farm. It has been a blessing in my life. I wish I could go more. I wish I could do more, but I try and focus on what I can do and the fact that I'm able to go at all, because last summer I wouldn't have been able to even go there. I couldn't even walk around the block with my dog a short distance without a walker or a wheelchair. So I actually have come quite a long way, and I'm really grateful that I have found the farm. But being that I found it, it also is exhausting. So I always go early in the morning, usually around 8 o'clock in the morning. That way I can help feed some of the animals. And then I only stay up to 2 hours usually. If there's a lot of car ride going on, then I'll stay a little bit longer, right, if I'm not doing too much. But by the time I get home, I'm just exhausted. I still suffer with this lack of energy. Even if I don't work very much at the farm and I'm just walking around talking to the animals, it still takes energy out of me. My body uses energy very poorly compared to a normal person. It just doesn't allocate it properly. So what something might take you, like, or how do I explain it? Like, for me to do a task, it takes probably 5 times more energy than it would take a normal person to do the same task. So I have to be careful in my day, and I have to save enough energy to cook dinner for my husband, for example, if he's working, because I can't leave him without food on the table, or me, right? We both need dinner. So like I have to plan my activities and my energy requirements very carefully in a day. But yeah, because I've been incorporating the sanctuary, my afternoons, a lot of the time I'm spending sleeping, so I'm not having crafting time. I'm just too tired to even think about diamond painting. The fact that it also aggravates my arms, and I can only do it for like half an hour now before really feeling it. Like I'm feeling it right now, like I need to stop soon. But I want to finish up this Wip and Chat, of course. So yeah, I've been sleeping a lot of my afternoons away, and I don't have the same amount of energy to film videos, and edit videos is another big thing. It's one thing to film them, but then you got to edit them. Even though I don't heavily edit things, it still is a process of listening to the videos back and editing out pauses, or if I've misspoke or something doesn't make sense or something like that. I do take a lot of pauses because of the brain fog that I have. So yeah, that's another layer of it. So I've been struggling. I have not been doing well, but then on the other hand, I have been doing okay. I've got the farm sanctuary that's really been a blessing in my life. Without it, my depression would have taken over. My depression was getting really bad. I just want to be normal. I want to be fixed. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired all of the time. It's really exhausting, and it gets old very quickly, and it's very hard. You know, I try my best to think positively and think of all the good things, but you do get stuck in a negative mindset sometimes as well, when you think of all the things you can't do anymore. So it is hard, but I'm doing the best as I can. So I've really been focusing on my health, you know, incorporating the sanctuary into my daily routine, or weekly routine, not daily, but a few days a week, and resting a lot on the other days because I'm just so tired from it all. But it's been the one thing that brings me joy. It makes me happy. Love spending time with animals. It's just so therapeutic. And yeah, my crafting has taken a back seat, unfortunately. I wish I could diamond paint more than I do. I always have the intention of diamond painting, but by the time the afternoon rolls around, I'm usually just so tired that I can't even, I mean, I sit down and I try, and within 10 minutes, I'm ready to fall asleep. So I am hoping that I get some of my energy back now. We're going into spring. There's going to be more sunny days. I find it a lot easier to stay awake on sunny days, and I have more energy too. So I'm hoping that with the nice weather coming in, maybe I'll get back to diamond painting a little bit more and producing more of the usual content that you guys, you know, come to know and expect from my channel. But I've still been trying to put out the videos each week. The roundups, I really do enjoy talking about new paintings and giving shops shout outs that might not otherwise have it. So I really do enjoy them. Those roundups are the easiest thing for me to film right now. So I really appreciate those of you who take time to listen to it, even if you just have it on in the background. That really does help my channel continue to grow. So I do appreciate those of you who do put it on in the background, even if you're not listening 110%. I try to keep the roundups. They're usually 15 to 20 minutes, so they're not that long. So yeah, for those that do watch them, I appreciate it. Those that interact, I appreciate it. And if you just can put it on in the background when you're diamond painting for a short while, I would really appreciate that as well. I also haven't been doing diamond painting events. I had wanted to do one for the spring, but I don't have the energy to organize it and to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it justice like I used to do. I used to do videos during the week for events, like whip parade videos where everybody's whips would be on the screen and everybody really liked them. I used to put prize packs together and had lots and lots of prizes each week, and I just do not have the energy to put into that. So Patty is running the 2025, what did we call it? I can't remember what we called it, but it's a 2025 diamond painting challenge. It's kind of like a bingo. She has some categories set up for you to complete throughout the year. And then she also put a dark art category on top of it with 3 extra categories. And she'll have some prizes for the end of that. So Patty's doing that in the group. I don't know if I'll have any other specific events this year. It's just going to have to wait and see. I am waiting another surgical procedure, so that's been my hesitancy as well. I had an appointment for that at the end of February, and I wasn't sure when the surgery would be scheduled. So they have me scheduled coming up in the summer sometime. I actually don't have a date yet, but she said probably in the summer months. Hopefully early summer. I'd love to get it over with and see if it even helps. It might not help, and in that case, I just continue on with what I'm doing. But kind of having that procedure looming over my head prevented me from really planning any kind of event this year. I hope this Wip and Chat kind of hasn't been too much all over the place. I hope you got an update. I know it's not the best update. I'm not doing 100% well. I'm really struggling these days still, but it's nice sitting down and talking with you guys, letting you guys know what's going on. I hope to be able to do more frequent Wip and Chats coming up, hopefully with the warm weather. Might make me feel a little bit better. My automatic dysfunction is usually better in the springtime as well, so maybe that will help. It's really hard when you have automatic dysfunction. Sometimes even sitting up at the table like this can make me really sick. I actually went to film this Wip and Chat yesterday, and within 10 minutes I was almost passed out and really sick to my stomach. So sometimes just sitting up like this is too much, which is also a barrier to filming. So hopefully though, in the warmer months, I'll feel a little bit better and can do more of these. If you do like frequent updates and you want to know what's going on and want a little closer knit community, get to know some other members of Patreon, you're welcome to join us. Go to patreon.com/thediamondstitcher or follow the link down below. Again, I've set it at $3 American, $5 Canadian. Wanted to keep the price low for you guys, but I do daily post updates there, especially a lot of the farm vlogs as well. Talk about the different animals at the farm. We've had some babies that have been born, and I kind of updating everybody on their stories as well. So yeah, if you're interested in trying it, you can always try it. You can, join for a month and then see if you like it. And if you don't like it, you can always cancel it again. There is a free tier on Patreon as well, though I don't post as often to that. But that you can sign up for free as well. And it might send you a discounted offer for your first month too if you do it that way, so you can try that. I hope everybody is doing well. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. I miss a lot of you, my frequent commenters and people who have followed me for a long time. I do think of you now and again and wonder how each of you are doing. So if you did watch this Wip and Chat, let me know how you are doing in the comments. I hope everybody is doing well. Looking forward to the spring weather and then of course summer. I definitely do not like the winter months. It's really hard for me to cope with my conditions and illnesses and feeling well. So I'm looking forward to the warmer weather. With all of that being said, I'm going to wrap up this Wip and Chat. I've diamond painted a little bit too long here, so I do need to take a break. I am really enjoying this kit from Oroloa. If you haven't tried a kit in a while, highly recommend trying it. This is a round one, of course. It is super, super sparkly. Let's see if I can get it in the light. Look how sparkly that is. The round diamonds are absolutely perfect. Very little trash. The only kind of trash I'm seeing is little bubbles on some of the diamonds, like on the tops, little holes. But aside from that, there's no tabs. These round diamonds fit together absolutely perfectly. Their squares are looking really good too. Both of their diamonds, the rounds and the squares, are going through upgrades. I can see on some of these round ones, they come to a point on the very top of the diamond. So they've been upgraded into the number of facets. Basically, it looks like a Diamond Art Club diamond. So very, very high quality. They are probably some of the best diamonds in the business, kind of at the top 3 right now, I would have to say. Really enjoying the rendering on this one. It works up fairly quickly. I can use my multi-placer and whip through this fairly quickly. So very excited to get more work done on this one, and hopefully it doesn't take me a couple of months to finish it. It is only, what is it, a 40 by 40 or 50 by 50, so it really shouldn't take too long, but I have to sit down and diamond paint in order to make it go fast. So hopefully pray for me if you pray, or send good thoughts my way. I really hope I start feeling better soon so I can get back to enjoying my crafting. I do miss it a lot. I absolutely hate having to rest on the couch so much and fall asleep during the day, and it's not fun for somebody who's 35-year-old to be kind of living like this. So any of the good thoughts, strength you have to send my way, I do really appreciate it. Hopefully the next Wip and Chat is a more positive update. We shall see though. I hope everybody does well this week, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.